Right. We are live. Countdown to 2023. And yeah, we'll give it a moment. Told people to jump on at 11:30 Korea time or 9:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time in the United States. So see if some people are even awake yet. I mean, who wouldn't be, right? Yeah, I got my mate, of course. Salud. And going to be putting some stuff up, but we're just going to chill out right now for the next couple minutes and see if people come on. Well, for any sports fans watching this, any football fans or soccer fans, congratulations to Argentina and all that mate they brought, that 1,100 pounds, almost 500. What would that be? Less than 500 kilos, but still 1,100 pounds is crazy amount of mate. Congratulations, Messi, Argentina. Well played, well deserved too. But speaking of sad news, passing of Pele just a few hours ago, less than 24 hours ago. That's also sad news to the football world, especially to true fans of the sport. I mean, a legend in his own right, you know. Guy had skills that people couldn't even imagine at that time. I mean, skills that we watch Ronaldo and Messi and Mbappe, Neymar, Pogba, these guys. But Pele was doing it before those guys were even born. That's why he's such a legend. But let's see. We'll get started here in just a minute. All right, so we are now 30 minutes away from the new year. Kind of crazy to think about. 2022 is over. Cheers, everyone. We got to get started the right way. Even for those watching early in the morning, grab yourself a cold one. It's going to be a long day. But I was just looking back at this year. It's just how crazy this year's been, how it's flown by. My family, we recently got back from Bali, and it was incredible. It was incredible. We even though it rained the whole time, we went through just about everything you could possibly do. We saw people surf in the rain. We took the kids swimming in the rain. And it's just really cool to get to do all that stuff. But with the new year coming in, what I thought we would do, I want to share some cool things with you. I don't know if you knew this or not, but not everybody has the same calendar in the world, right? I know. Isn't that crazy? So I wanted to share with you, there are a couple countries that don't have the same calendar as us. And that means they're not really on the same, obviously it's not New Year's to them. Or in some countries, it's celebrated at different times of the year. For example, here in Korea, they run two calendars, the Gregorian calendar, and then they have a solar calendar. Here in Korea, it's called the lunar and solar calendars. But on the lunar calendar, they have what's called Seolnal. And Seolnal is their New Year's based on that. And it's typically end of January to mid-February. This year, it happens to be at the end of January, I believe. Yeah, the 22nd, it starts this year. So what I want to do is I just want to show you guys, whether you know this or not, just some cool, let's pick up, let's see, here we go. 5 countries around the world with unique calendars. So this is the Ghana report. I went through a couple different websites to find this. It's obviously not mine, but I'd love to go to some of these places. I've been to Japan, but I'd love to go to a couple other places. So it's funny how this starts. When you ask someone what day it is today, you're most of the time trying to confirm what day of the week it is or the date itself. So most of us, especially those from the US and Canada, the Western civilization, whether it's Europe, we typically ask that because we have certain dates, right? January, February. Today is obviously New Year's Eve. But if you go to some of these other places, they're not going to tell you that. Not all of them, at least. So the first one on here is Afghanistan. Afghanistan. So let's just read this together, get some information from it. It says the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan uses the solar Hijri calendar as its official calendar. It's official calendar. That's pretty cool. According to this calendar, a new year begins about the 21st of March of each Gregorian year and ends about the 20th of March on the next year. So that I guess that calendar kind of follows like the Korean one, the lunar calendar, how it's just shifted a little bit. This seems to be about a little more than 3.5 months shifted. Basically, the solar Hijri year is 621 or 622 years behind countries who use the Gregorian calendar, depending on whether the solar Hijri year has or has not begun. Wow. Wow. 622 years behind. It's kind of crazy to think about if you think about progress. Is that related? Is the progress of certain countries related to their calendars? In some ways, it could be. So, for example, the year 2022, which is what we're wrapping up now, and the Gregorian calendar is the year 1406 or 1407, depending on the month. Wow. Well, that was before Columbus found America. All right, the next one is Ethiopia. Ethiopia is another country that uses a unique calendar. The calendar is called the Ge'ez calendar. This unique calendar is 7 to 8 years behind the Gregorian calendar, so it's behind again. This is due to alternate calculations in determining the date of the announcement of the birth of Jesus. Wow. Basically, the GS calendar has 12 months of 30 days each, plus 5 or 6 additional days, sometimes known as the 13th month. Well, that's quite an interesting take, because many people believe that the Gregorian calendar is based off Jesus' birth, but Ethiopia has one that is also based off his birth, but has a different layout of days, 30 days each instead of the 31. All right, next is Japan. They have a slightly different calendar. In 604, Japan decided on its own calendar using techniques developed in China, and brought to its islands via the Korean peninsula. But Japan would later adopt the standard Gregorian calendar in 1873. But despite this, many aspects of its former calendar are still in use today. The country still holds some festivals that match traditional dates, and calendar printers may include the latter on their publications. That's something very similar to Korea too. If you look at most calendars in Korea, especially if you go into a restaurant or a place of business, they'll have these huge calendars up. I mean, pretty tall, pretty long, but you'll see both dates on there. The Gregorian calendar is in big black letters, and the lunar calendar is in small red letters. And you can see the different dates on the calendar. So I assume that's what they are in Japan too. That's pretty cool. All right, we got 2 more. We have Israel next. In Israel, the Jewish calendar is in use. This is derived from the ancient Hebrew calendar and has remained unchanged since about AD 900. Interesting. Also referred to as the religious calendar, the Jewish calendar is based on lunar months of 29 days, alternating with 30 days. While Israel also uses the Gregorian calendar, the Jewish calendar is used for religious and agricultural purposes. That makes sense. And it's an official calendar for civil holidays. That's another similarity that Korea has, is the holidays in Korea seem to be based on the lunar calendar, especially the major days. Seolnal, which is their new year, and Chuseok, which is similar to the American Thanksgiving. It's a fall harvest festival that changes dates on the Gregorian calendar because it's based on the lunar calendar. So Israel's the same. That's pretty cool. And then China. China also uses a unique calendar for specific purposes, such as determining festivals, and this is used by various Chinese communities around the world. Even though China has its unique calendar, the Gregorian calendar is used for civil purposes. Yeah. And it's probably astronomy, I assume. The Chinese calendar. Yeah, the Chinese calendar is based on astronomical observations. Zodiac signs. Yeah. So if you guys have ever been, I think this is only in the US because there are plenty of Chinese restaurants here in Korea. I've been to China before and I didn't notice them there. But Chinese restaurants in the United States, they all come with some kind of zodiac sign, and you can always find it. You're the ox, you're the cow, you're the dog, etc. I don't know all of them, but yeah, they're all based on astronomical signs. So that is interesting. Okay. So, all right, let's pull this back. Stop screen sharing. Yeah. It's so cool to see different things from other countries, not just because it's different, but it also gives you a little peek into a window of how people in other countries view things, how part of their culture is played out each day, whether it's through holidays at different times of the year, or zodiac signs, or astronomically set up for calendars. It's kind of cool to see that stuff, and it gives you a look into different cultures. So, all right, so that was pretty cool seeing the different calendars. I had heard before that not everybody's on the same calendar, but that was just through talk. Hearing people talk, whether it's on a YouTube or something like that, and you look it up and find this information. So it's pretty cool. All right, the next thing I thought we'd share are traditions from around the world. So let's see if I can pull the traditions up. Mm-hmm. Here we go. All right. So traditionally in the United States, we all gather at a party, either at outside someone's house. We gather with family. Most people would like to sing the Auld Lang Syne song. Uh, I don't really know that song. I've never really done that as a tradition. I'm probably even saying it wrong right now, but one of the traditions in the United States is that at the stroke of midnight, you give a kiss to somebody. And typically it's your partner, your wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, could be a stranger. But once the ball drops, once it hits 0 or midnight, we give a little kiss. But it's not the same in every country. Koreans don't really do that. The public display of affection is a no-no most of the time. But I thought we'd look right now at a couple different traditions from around the world. What do they do on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day? So here we've got from worldstrides.com. We've got 9 New Year's traditions from cultures around the world. All right, let's start with Spain. In Spain, it's customary to eat 12 grapes, one at each stroke of the clock at midnight on New Year's Eve. 12 grapes in a minute. Each grape represents good luck for 1 month for the upcoming year. That's pretty cool. In bigger cities like Madrid and Barcelona, people gather in main squares to eat their grapes together and pass around a bottle of cava. It's always fun when you can do it publicly with a large group, your fellow man, to celebrate these things. 12 grapes, that's I guess it can't be that hard. Grapes are pretty soft, but not all of them. Korean grapes have a seed in the center, a pretty big one, and you don't really eat the skin. So there are these large purple grapes. The skin's quite tough, and there's a seed in the middle. So you suck the juicy part of the grape out and you spit everything else out. That would be kind of gross if they were doing that in Spain. But 12 grapes in a minute, that's a lot. That's pretty cool in Spain. All right, Colombia. In hopes of a travel-filled new year, residents of Colombia carry empty suitcases around the block. All right. That's one New Year's tradition we can get behind. Yeah, absolutely. World Strides, we can get behind that for sure. That would be kind of cool. I'm not really sure why. I mean, I'm curious why they they walk around with empty suitcases. If anybody from Colombia is watching and wants to come on and share their stories, we'd love to hear that, because as much as I love travel, I'm not really sure why you walk around the block with an empty suitcase. So if you guys want to come on and share it or leave a comment below, that would be awesome. I'm sure a lot of people want to know more about that. All right, next we got Denmark. Denmark's got a lot of unique traditions. Let's see what this is. Residents of Denmark greet the new year by throwing old plates and glasses against the doors of family and friends to banish bad spirits. Okay. They also stand on chairs and jump off of them together at midnight to leap into January in hopes of good luck. That's pretty cool. They leap from the chairs. I wonder what plates and glasses have to do with bad spirits, though. I don't know. I'd love to hear in the comments below about that too. That's kind of odd. Very interesting that plates and glasses are connected with bad spirits. All right, Finland. In Finland, people predict the coming year by casting molten tin into a container of water, then interpreting the shape the metal takes after hardening. Okay. A heart or ring means a wedding, while a ship predicts travel, and a pig declares there will be plenty of food. All right. I wonder what things are for like having children, getting married is in here for a wedding, travel. That's all right. That would be kind of fun, doing that tradition, pouring it into the cool water. It cools off. All right, Panama. Going back over. Let's see. Panama, to drive off evil spirits for a fresh New Year's start, it's tradition to burn effigies, muñecos, of well-known people such as television characters and political figures in Panama. The effigies are meant to represent the old year. I certainly tell you, there are a lot of people in the West who would like this this tradition. Wow. Yeah, torching the past, getting rid of the past. It's kind of funny they do it with characters or even politicians, people, not necessarily like old clothes or old memories, trying to get rid of those. They want some change down in Panama, I guess. All right, next we got Scotland. Oh, Scotland. During Scotland's New Year's Eve celebration of Hogmanay, first footing is practiced across the country. The first person who crosses a threshold of a home in the new year should carry a gift for luck. I like that. Scots also hold bonfire ceremonies where people parade while swinging giant fireballs on poles, supposedly symbols of the sun to purify the coming year. I wonder if these traditions, especially the bonfire one, comes from the past Celtic times. I'm sure that seems like a pretty old tradition to have. And it's really cool. I've actually seen this in person quite a few times. If you've traveled to Southeast Asia, they put on these fire shows. But unexpectedly, my wife and I were traveling in Australia, and we were camping in one of the forests somewhere. I can't remember the name, but a family parked next to us. And at nighttime, we see the kids start moving around. They were getting really excited about nighttime, and it just seemed a bit odd. Like, all right, maybe they're going to have a bonfire. They like to tell stories, but they brought out these long poles, each kid. And probably the oldest kid was, I want to say, a young teen, maybe 13 or 14 years old. And then the next one was probably around 10 or 11. And the youngest one, somewhere between 6 and 8. I mean, they were quite young, but they all carried these poles out. And the father came out with a huge bucket and a specialized gasoline tank and poured it in. And before they lit it, we were just like, what in the world is going on? Well, they did. All 3 kids took their poles. They dipped it in the special gas or regular gas. I don't know. And then the father lit the ends of these poles and the kids were just flipping them. And that father had a lot of trust in the kids, but they had so much fun. They had so much fun. Everybody in the area who was camping around us kind of came over. We were watching them play. Kids were very safe. They obviously knew what they were doing. They'd flip them around, twirl them. If they dropped it, they'd put it out before they picked it up, and then they'd walk over and relight them and stuff. That was pretty cool. So I've seen something like that. Bonfire ceremonies and giant fireballs, big traditions around the world. All right, Philippines. You'll find round shapes all over the Philippines on New Year's Eve as representatives of coins to symbolize prosperity in the coming year. Many families display piles of fruit on their dining tables, and some eat exactly 12 round fruits, grapes being the most common. Well, grapes, they got it, I guess, because they're so small, at midnight. Many also wear polka dots for luck. All right, so circle is a symbol representing coins and prosperity. All right. Brazil. In Brazil, as well as other Central and South America countries like Ecuador, Bolivia, and Venezuela, it is thought to be lucky to wear special underwear on New Year's Eve. Well, yeah, they better be clean too. The most popular colors are red, thought to bring love for the new year, and yellow, thought to bring money. Red. I get no love and no money next year, at least not in Brazil. All right, underwear, clothing. Clothing's another one. Wearing traditional clothing or buying new clothing. I know that's really popular in the States. People like to buy clothes for the new year. All right, last one here. Greece. I bet they've got long traditions, I'm sure. An onion is traditionally hung on the front door of homes on New Year's Eve in Greece as a symbol of rebirth in the new year. On New Year's Day, parents wake their children by tapping them on the head with the onion. I wonder how softly they do that. Wow, these are really cool. Wow, these are fun too. It's it's just really fun to learn and read about these different traditions. Maybe they don't do them anymore. Maybe they're old customs, old traditions that new generations aren't doing anymore. But I don't know. To me, it's important to hold on to traditions. You're obviously not going to hold on to all traditions, but it's important to have something that you kind of share with a certain group of people, family members. You kind of pass it down. You know, I obviously have traditions, family traditions, cultural traditions. And it's really fun to not just see and read traditions from all around the world, but to be part of those traditions if you can. You know, if you're traveling right now on New Year's Eve, you're right in the mix of it. You know, you're right there to be part of these traditions, and then you get to share them with your friends, your family, your children later on. It's really cool. All right. So we are getting close. We are down to 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Mr. Cobb in the house. Normal day, huh? Well, I'll raise one to you. There you go, Philip. I wish you'd join. You should get on this podcast, this video, We could have some good conversation right now. So we got just a couple, we got about 5 minutes, a little less than 5 minutes. And I'm going to be putting up, hopefully, putting up a live stream from Korea. I hope it says it is, but you never know. I pulled this one up from YouTube. You never know if they're real or not. Yeah. Good on you, Ron. I hope you're enjoying those grapes. And why not? You should. Hopefully, you can do it twice. You can do it at lunchtime, and then you can do it again at midnight. Have yourself 24 grapes in a day. So what do you guys have? What are your wishes for the new year? You guys have anything special? Let me know what you guys are doing. What are your goals for 2023? Drop a comment down below and let me know what's going on. For me, it's all about family next year. All about family. I'm going to try to spend as much time as I can with my kids. Try, work as hard as I can, so I can provide what I can for my children. Try to travel with them as much as I can. Like I said, we just got back from Bali. We've got a couple more trips planned, but I really want them to see the world. And so whether it's little trips around the city, a little bit longer domestic trips around Korea, or international trips, I just want my kids to see everything. And so that's my goal. My goal is to focus on my family and be there for them and support them in any way that I can. So, all right, we got less than 2 minutes now. Pull this up, and we got a creeper. Come on in. We got a creeper, but my beautiful wife is going to join us, I think. At least her hand will. All right, so this says it's from Busan. This one's the Busan. I just pulled it up on YouTube. You know if KBS or anything has it? Like the bell ringing or anything like that? KBS? Sorry if the sound sounds bad. Yeah, they ring the bell like this. There's a link. Oops. There it is. Happy New Year! There it is. Welcome to the future. Ooh, I feel it. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year. I tell you that. It's going to be a real good year. All right. Well, that's going to do it for me tonight, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your comments. And if you guys have anything you want to share, any traditions from your country or something about calendars as well, drop a comment down below on the YouTube page and let me know what's going on. I'll see you guys again soon. Peace. You.